Well, Eskom continues to bleed millions for the upkeep of accommodation flats that were constructed in Kusile Power Station for workers, despite the non-occupation of those. This massive project is falling apart, but to date, the company has spent over 800 million rand on it. For more on this, we're now joined via Skype by our reporter, Siphephile Kunene. Very good afternoon to you, Siphe. All right, so break this down for us. What exactly is happening? I see a lot of blame game currently taking place on social media with the previous management blaming the new and vice versa. What is the actual story around these flats or accommodation?
When we spoke to Eskom today, they made it clear to us that they stopped funding the project in 2019 after 10 years of spending money on it. The money was already over 800,000, which was 840 million rand, 850 million rand that was already spent on the project that was supposed to just take 160 million rand to complete. After seeing that it is not giving the desired results, and the Kusile Power Station project is almost 90% complete, they stopped funding the project, saying that it was constructed to accommodate people that were building the same power station, Kusile Power Station. It means that it never served its purpose, and it costed millions from Eskom's side. Therefore, they abandoned funding and continuing with it in 2019. And now they are in negotiations with human settlements, Department of Human Settlements in South Africa, that they might have them buying those over 300 flats that are constructed there. When you get there, is an unkept place. There is hard cement, which shows that those cement bags have been there for a long while. There are tiles, for roof tiles as well as floor tiles that are there. They are just abandoned. No one's looking after the place. And you can see that it has already started falling apart because the roof itself in some of the flats is caving in. So this has put Eskom on the spotlight. And we also had a chance to talk to NUM, the union that they subscribe to at Eskom, most of the workers there. They said no, they do not have anything to do with that project. They are receiving housing allowances. They are also receiving traveling allowances. They travel from their homes. They are based in Pretoria, Witbank, and Ochis, such places, so they can get to work because they do have allowances to do that. They have nothing to say on that project. And Eskom also highlighted that that project was built to accommodate those that were building Kusile Power Station.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about the fact that the utility now wants to sell the project off to the Department of Human Settlements to somewhat recover those costs. I mean, when we talk about issues like this, one can't help but think that there must have been some kind of corruption involved. I mean, we're talking a figure of about 850 million rand, and I'm wondering if this is the correct way to recover costs of selling one thing off to another department. What have we heard in terms of whether or not there has been any corruption involved in this, and how did it come to the attention indeed of people like you about this particular flat and accommodation situation?
There was a communication from Parliament, from the Public Enterprise committee that is responsible, the portfolio committee that's responsible for public enterprise in Parliament. They released a statement that says that it is really not happy with what's happening. Eskom cannot waste so much money on that project that hasn't been occupied. It was supposed to be occupied by people that were constructing Kusile Power Station, but to date, no one's occupying it. It's falling apart, and it has taken the 840 million rand from Eskom. Yet it was supposed to take the over 100 million rand. Therefore, that was a cause for concern for the portfolio committee. That's where the story stemmed, and then it was run by other media houses, and then we went there to see for ourselves, and what we found there is shameful.
Yeah, and in terms of these negotiations and talks with the Department of Human Settlements, do we know how far they are, and if the department is indeed taking this seriously, and perhaps what do we know what the Department of Human Settlements would then be using this accommodation for?
It would really be difficult, Flo, to quantify or maybe be certain about the stage of negotiations, because we got the information from Eskom, and Eskom did indeed say that they are at an advanced stage of negotiating with human settlement to use that place for public accommodation around Emalahleni. But as to whether it will materialize or it will come to fruition, we will have to wait and see for that. Because if Eskom says they are at an advanced stage, it means they already have a plan of recovery. But the question would be, in the state in which those flats are in, will it be possible to recover or recoup all the money that has been used to maintain, build, and ensure that they are there? And mind you, there are security guards, they say, that are supposed to be looking after that place. But when we got there were no security guards. There was nothing. There were even people inside the buildings cutting things out of the buildings, which means people are already harvesting whatever they can from those flats. That's what we saw today. So if they're already in that state, it means that Eskom stands a chance of not making much money. They won't recover as much as they put in.
Okay, Siphephile, thank you very much for that update, and certainly we'll be getting more information from you about this, and in terms of whether Human Settlements does indeed take this on. Thank you so very much for that. That's Siphephile Kunene, who's reporting for us in Mpumalanga.